Hi there, welcome again to Tutors Jamaica. In this section, I'll be talking to you about selecting a device. Now, people are going to be selecting phones, tablets, laptops, and desktop computers. So I'll be giving some advice. My best advice as relates to selecting each of these. So let's start with a desktop. Now, a desktop is a powerful device. It's going to be powerful, probably the most powerful device that you can have to use for your classes. However, a desktop will suffer from power failures and stuff like that. But if you do decide to go with a desktop, the screen, you want a 15-inch screen, preferably a LED or LCD screen, right? With so you can reduce the glaring. You also want a headset, right? So, or a noise cancelling headset. When so headset means that it has a mic on it, so it will have a mic and it will be it will have on the speakers, so that way the child can have their lesson, and even if somebody in the house is making noise, they can still hear, that sort of a thing. You're also going to need a webcam. I have webcams, and you can get those in from me. I'm thinking about $700 per one. And these are 8 megapixel webcams. Now, these webcams do not have a microphone. However, you can get one with a microphone, and so that's an option. You can get a webcam with a microphone, or you can just use the microphone that's on the headset. So that's sound and video. So let's talk about the actual computer. And another thing before we get to that is you would probably want to get a UPS, a uninterrupted power supply, and you plug that in the wall, and then you plug your devices into that, and that will give a few minutes. And if it's significantly large enough, and if it's just the computer that's on it, it could probably give you maybe a half hour, maybe even an hour of backup power, so you can continue to learn even while the power is out, right? You can complete a class. Now, let's go down to the specs of the computer. The computer, you want a computer with at least a Pentium, dual core Pentium, but something i3, i5, i7 would be more better. You really don't want something with a Celeron, because Celerons are not very powerful and they're going to slow. You also want something with about 2.4 or above. Dual core. If it's dual core, if it's quad core, you can go with 2.0, but you do want about 2.4 gigahertz processor. And as I said, Pentium or i3, somewhere there, that's what you ideally want. Now, as it relates to the RAM, you want 4 gigs RAM minimum. 8 gigs would be ideal. 16 gig is a bit overkill. And how you want this RAM to be spread across is if there are 2 slots, and of course this is for a technician. This is a technician that will be doing this. Don't get a single 4 gig stick of RAM. Get 2 gigs or 2 4 gig. So you get 2 matching sticks, and when you put them in, it goes in a thing called dual channel, and that will increase the performance. So two 2 gig will perform better than a single 4 gig. So the next thing is hard drive. You're going to want at least a 320 gig, probably a 500 or a 1 terabyte, and you want to have a significant portion of that, more than half of that free. Now you're going to want to have Google Chrome installed, and you're also going to want to have the Office Suite installed on that device. So that's basically what you're going to need. You're going to need also a comfortable keyboard and a comfortable mouse. I would recommend wireless if you can go that extra distance. Alright, I also recommend a 16 gig flash drive, and this flash drive you'll use that as a backup, although you'll also have further backups, which I'll explain in a second. Now, as it relates to the laptop, you want similar specs as the desktop. You can use one with a built-in camera. One with a built-in camera would be nice. I would recommend one with the extended keyboard, as in it has the 1, 2, 3, 4, the number pad on the right hand side. That would be a bit more comfortable than a compact keyboard where those keys are not included. Even though a laptop will have the trackpad, I still recommend a mouse, as the trackpad, using the trackpad for extended period will cause your hand pain in the hand. So I wouldn't recommend utilizing the trackpad for long period. Now the laptop that you want one with good battery life. Now you can get this new or used. You're looking at, if you're talking about used, you're talking about somewhere about $35,000-$40,000. Ensure that it has a good battery. Ensure that it has as I said, 4 gig RAM, 2.4 dual core processor, 320, 500 or 1000 gigs of hard drive space, and you get your flash drive. Now, once you upload something to Google Classroom, it is there, so you'll have a backup there. However, while you're working on a file or working on something, you want to have a copy on your flash drive. You want to have a copy there. So if you have a copy there now on your flash drive, then if whatever crash or whatever, then whatever eventuality, then you are prepared for that, so you can just continue your work. Right now, as it relates to tablets, don't buy anything Amazon. Don't buy any Amazon tablets, because they are not good. You're going to have to buy another tablet. So don't buy Amazon tablet. Just wanted you to know that. Tablets, a 7-inch will work. If the child is having vision problems or anything like that, I'd say go with a 10-inch. But you want something with a front camera. You definitely need something with a front camera, because if you only have a rear camera, whenever they need to do Zoom meeting or Zoom, where they are supposed to be show themselves on the screen to do a presentation or whatever the case may be, they won't be able to do that. I'd recommend a tablet with about 1 gig RAM. You might find some that are 512 with older OS. Those should work fine. But if you can get something with 1 gig RAM, do that. 4 gigs, you might get away with something with 4 gig internal storage, but if you're going to do that, then you can't have it filled up. You can't be storing a lot of things on that tablet, right? So you're going to want a memory card. Now, before purchasing a memory card, I would recommend the 32 gig, and that would go in lieu of buying a flash drive, because you would need both. But if you are going to, before purchasing a device, a memory card, just do a quick Google search and see what's the maximum size memory card that your device will support. If you buy something higher than the maximum, your device will not be able to see it. When you are formatting your memory card in your device, ensure that you format it as a storage. Don't format it as an internal storage. Format it as a portable device, portable whatever. I don't remember what I said, but it's portable, the first one. If you format it as an internal, you will be defeating the purpose of backup, because it will be tied to that device and you won't be able to take it from that device, put it in another device and have it work. It will not work. So if that device stops working, or for whatever reason, then all your work will essentially be gone with that device. So as it relates to speed, okay, so you want a dual core. Basically any dual core tablet will do. A quad core will be better. 1 gig RAM would be best, but you might only be able to find with 512. Now I would recommend getting a case with a keyboard, whether it's a Bluetooth keyboard or a wired keyboard. As this would be a bit better, right, in terms of utilizing the tablet. So it would make the tablet more like a laptop, so you'll be able to do your typing and whatnot. So that's basically it for tablets. Also make sure that your tablet will give you a good battery life. Also, to extend the battery life, what you want to do is to turn down the brightness of the screen to where you can bear it, because sometimes people have their screen over bright, and when you have the screen over bright, and remember that the screen will have to be on all the time, so it's going to utilize a lot of power. The screen utilizes probably the most power in any mobile device. Now, as for phone, the same specs, the same as the tablet, but as I say, you're going to need something with a front camera, because you want to do those Zoom meetings and you want to do those calls. Don't free up a lot of the internal. Don't have the phone full, right? And you're going to want to get something with LTE, especially if you intend to use that phone as the source of the internet. If you're planning to do that, then I'll definitely say ensure that your phone has LTE, and ensure that LTE is enabled on your phone, not just that you have it, but that it is enabled, because sometimes the phone, it's only enabled 3G, so you don't get the kind of speed that you want. Now, for Jamaica, because persons outside of Jamaica might be watching, but for Jamaica, I would recommend Flow Plan. No, I was not paid for this, but I do recommend Flow 28 days 2 gig data plan, social with unlimited talk. I recommend that because when with Flow, when your data as when you have depleted your main data, then you are able to continue to access the internet using 2G. While with Digicel, when you deplete your primary data, then you'll have to buy another plan. Digicel also has some plans for school plans. I have not actually checked those out and see what advantage or what disadvantage they have. So I'm using Flow, so I can recommend the Flow to you. Now, another thing, I'm not going to end up saying it in my the part of the video where I talk about mobile, using a mobile data to access the Google Classroom. So I'm going to say it here. You want to enable make copy available offline. You're going to want to enable that, and you're going to also want to go to settings, and you're going to want to enable mobile data sync. When you enable those two, that will ensure that when you finish your work, you'll always see the most updated version of the work, right? So thanks for watching, and the video should continue now, unless this is a video that is by itself. But don't forget to subscribe, like and share and comment. Thank you.